Satnam. Today we're going to be doing the Kriya for the Instinctual Self, which is one of my favorite Kriyas. It's a really powerful practice that I have found really stabilizes our just our sense of self to be able to navigate challenge, uncertainty. It really helps you just be present and really see things as they are. Which gives you more resources and access to live life from a different place, no matter what. So there's a couple of recordings that I've done for this Kriya before. One of them is a halftime Kriya, and the other one is to really walk you through the more challenging poses in this Kriya. So if you are relatively new, or if you need a little bit of extra support and you're finding some of these really challenging, just make sure to check those out. They are in the lower part. Of course, the halftime is if you want to upscale. I wanted to make this Kriya in particular, this recording in particular, for anybody who wanted to take on a Kriya that will really solidify and give you a lot of support, and you don't have a lot of time. So this is a 1 minute each exercise. So the maximum time is 3 minutes. And I will be posting one of those later. But for now, I want to give you something that is really short, quick, and solid, that if you commit to it, because ultimately in your practice, consistency is what's going to give you results. So here we go. So sitting nice and tall and just resting inward, dropping your attention into the body. Relaxing the belly as you sit into the sit bones to lengthen the spine, open the heart, relax the shoulders. Make sure that the chin is at a right angle to the body, applying neck lock so that the spine is open from the base to the top of the head. Eyes are gently rolled up, focused inward at the brow point. And allowing the navel to breathe for you. Focusing on the sound current within you. Sat, S-A-T on the inhale, truth. Nam, N-A-M, name on the exhale. So true identity. Calling forth the true identity. Letting it become more of you. We rub palms together as we center inward into the heart, anchoring at our center. Take a nice breath in. Suspend the breath, gently drawing yourself deeper within. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale. Suspend the breath. And exhale. And we're going to tune in with Adi Mantra. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Nice breath in. And exhale, just resting in this place, being present with the breath. We're going to just begin to warm up the spine, and I'm just going to have you do Sufi grinds. So once again, Sufi grinds are just moving. There's lots of ways to do Sufi grinds. This is very grounded and rooted. So you're really moving from the navel. You're not moving from the upper body. The action is coming from the navel. The head stays facing straight. Chin stays at a right angle. Shoulders relaxed. Feeling the connection to the earth below you. And your breath will simply fall into place naturally. And take it the other way. Noticing the nuances of that experience. We hold patterns of tightness and tension in our body different. So when we work with a movement in one direction and one in the other, we can really tell the difference from one to the other, and just noticing that. Nothing to change, nothing to do, just simply being witness and experiencing that. Getting to know where you are today. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Beautiful. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Relax, rest in Gyan Mudra and just witness. We're going to open the spine a little bit deeper, but working with the life nerve, stretching the legs, rooted, extending, chin at a right angle. If you are able to, grasping middle and index, pressing the thumbs into the big toe, the nail of the big toe, otherwise anchoring and keeping the hands locked. Inhale as you open the heart, exhale as you lengthen forward. As always, work within the limits of your own body. If you need to adjust, but really make the quality of the movement. Concentrate on what matters most. In this case, rooted, extended, heart is open, heart leads rather than the head. Rhythmic, fluid movements. Now inhale, maintain the posture, suspend the breath, contain it. Exhale, relax, rest, and just be present. Just notice. Beautiful. From this, we're going to start our first movement, which is actually camel ride with butterfly pose. So butterfly pose, feet are together. And the key here is that you really want to be rooted. So you want to be seated into the sit bones. So it's easy to want to try to bring them as close as possible and then kind of end up curving. So you want to stay really nice and tall. You can either wrap your hands around the feet or the ankles, whatever works best, keeping the chin at a right angle. Inhale as you press the navel forward, exhale back. It doesn't have to be a big movement. The movement will just keep opening. The body will keep opening as you continue to move. Inhale forward, exhale back, and continue. Really lead the movement from the navel. The navel is what's really guiding the entire movement and even the breath. Keep the chin at a right angle, eyes focused inward at the brow point. We're opening up that lower spine, moving the energies. So this kriya is working that moving the energies from the lower body up into the higher centers in a very effective way. Now, inhale, center, lengthen the spine, contain the breath. Exhale, completely push all the air out, squeeze the root lock, bring sex organs, rectum, navel, draw that whole lower triangle in, moving the energy up the spine. Relax as you naturally inhale. And exhale as you slowly bring the knees together, extend. You can shake it out and then come into a comfortable sitting posture, just witnessing, just allowing yourself to be witness to that experience. Giving time for the body to integrate. We're going to move into our next exercise, which is actually 2 movements. So we're going from cobra to platform, and the breath might seem opposite, but remember that the breath is supporting the effort of the movement. So you start in your perfect cobra pose. So I'm going to show you the ideal, right? Rooted into the hips, slightly bent, lengthening up through the top of the head. Heels are as close together as you can make it. We're going to inhale as we come to body in one line, from the toes to the top of the head. Exhale as you bring it back down, opening the heart. Inhale up and exhale down. So even if you're doing a modification down here, you can really bring those fingers together and really stabilize into this core place. That's a great modification if you need it, because it's a really intense movement on your wrists. Ready? Here we go. Ideally, you're staying on the top of your feet. This means that you're activating the navel more deeply. Inhale up, suspend the posture. Exhale as you slowly come down. I like to stretch back, but you can come onto your stomach or just stretch back, sitting on the heels, just resting. And if you are on your stomach, please go ahead and stretch back and slowly bring hands towards the knees to press down as you gently roll up, letting the head be the last thing to rise. So we're going to be using breath of fire for the next one. We're going to be in crow pose or crow squat. Ideally, your feet are flat on the floor. If that's not going to work for you, you can grab a pillow or a rolled blanket and place it at the bottom of your heels. If you have knee injuries, knee anything, and you feel pain in your knees, modify. Again, I refer you to the video I do to walk you through this. So the extension from the sit bones to the top of the head, chin is in, interlacing fingers, you're wrapping your fingers, wrapping your arms around your knees and just resting here, chin at a right angle, eyes closed, focused inward, breath of fire. Inhale deep. Suspend the breath. Squeeze the root lock, sex organs, rectum, navel. Draw that whole energy up the spine, moving the energy up through the higher centers. Relax and just rest there for a moment, and slowly either come to a standing or shake the legs out, whichever way, whatever you need. And again, just coming to a nice place to witness, just non-action, being fully present to whatever arises within you and how the body receives it. Beautiful. We're going to move into the next exercise, which is all about the navel. So you're going to be doing leg lifts. So as always, whenever we do leg lifts, we're always rooting at the base with the navel. And if you need extra support, you can bring your hands under the hips. Regardless of what you do, you still want to keep the navel anchored and feel that lower back flat on the floor. That's what's really moving the entire body. So we're going to keep our heels together, and we're going to lift the legs up 90 degrees, and we're going to bring them down. Now, I see a lot of swinging because it's so much easier to swing, but you really want to anchor, and you really want to use the power of your navel. So even if you bend slightly and lengthen, and then bend slightly to support your lower back, that'll still work your navel, and you can work your way up. So give yourself permission to be where you are. Here we go. Ready? Inhale up, 90 degrees, exhale down. No matter what, just keep going. Even if you need to shift into one leg at a time, it's the most important thing is just to keep going, and you will grow into the posture. Ready? Take a nice breath in as you rise. Suspend the breath, stay connected. Exhale, hug the knees in. Stretch it out there. Rock side to side. You can either stay with the knees hugged, or you can extend them out into corpse pose and just take a moment here to relax. Beautiful. Chin in. If you're not there, just bring knees to the chest. Begin to rock up and down. Balancing the energies of the body, coming all the way forward. We're going to move on to our stomachs. And we're going to open our heart. We're going to keep the heels as close together as possible. Interlace the fingers behind our back. And what we're going to do here is we're going to extend the fingers away from you to lift the heart, lengthening up through the top of the head. So you're grounded and rooted, and you're extending the arms as high as they can go. And now once you're in this position, you're going to begin breath of fire. Closing the eyes, focus inward, and begin.
Now inhale deep. Suspend the breath. Stay connected. You're doing beautiful. Exhale, relax. And once again, you can bring your right cheek on the mat. Just resting there. You can also bring your hands under. If you need to make a pillow out of them, just make yourself as comfortable as possible. And bringing your next breath, just stretch it back. Slowly rising. As you come onto your back, relaxing, we're going to rest here in corpse pose for just a minute. So make yourself comfortable. If you need to support your knees in any way and lower back in any way, just do that. We're going to be here for a minute. So just enjoy. This is integration here. Remember to keep the palms facing up. Legs and arms slightly apart. Just resting, letting go. Being focused on the breath through Satnam. Resting the weight of the body on the mat. And please take a nice deep breath in. Now exhale as you bring knees to the chest, wrap your arms around, bringing the chin into the chest, keeping the head in. We're going to exhale as you roll back, inhale as you come forward, aiming to rock across the entire spine. Remember that the head is the heaviest part of your body, so you want to really keep that head, the chin in, so that the head can be carried with the movement rather than being dragging you behind. So just keep going. This is a really great way to balance the energies of the body, and a place where we're catalyzing all of those lower centers and moving them up the higher centers to prepare for the latter part of our Kriya. Now coming all the way forward, take a nice breath in. Exhale. And just take a moment. Stretch the legs out. Just take a moment here to just notice. Now we're going to be coming into shoulder stand, and then from shoulder stand we're going to be doing plow pose. So once again, take care of yourself. If you need a little bit more guidance on this, make sure that you watch the video where I walk you through it slowly and give you a number of options. So I'm just going to show you so that you have a mind's eye vision of what we're going to do. So we're going to rise up. You want to make sure that your heels are together, lengthening up towards the sky. The weight of your body is on your shoulders rather than your neck. And we're just here enjoying ourselves.
If you need an adjustment, just drop the angle, but make sure that you're supporting the lower back and you're rooted into the shoulders rather than the lower back. So we're going to stay here for a while, and then we're going to move into plow pose, where we're extended, our toes ideally are behind us, and our arms are down if that works for us. We take care of ourselves as we need to, adjusting the angle as we need to, and we're going to be doing breath of fire in these poses. So go ahead and come to your basic starting point and swing up, settle in, and begin breath of fire. Follow the breath with Satnam. You're doing beautiful. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale as you very slowly bring the feet towards the floor behind you. Stay into the shoulders. If you can, bring the arms down, palms facing down. Again, focusing at the brow point. Begin breath of fire. Remember that breath of fire is done through the navel. So if this is really challenging for you, just practice breath of fire. I've got a video for that as well. I'll post it down below so that you have a reference point for working with and practicing breath of fire. Now inhale deep, suspend the breath. Exhale, bringing hands onto the lower back. Go ahead and bend the knees and very slowly support yourself to come down one vertebra at a time, and then come into tuck pose, bringing the nose between the knees to stretch the neck, and relax in corpse pose as you allow the body to receive the experience. This is a good place to check in and see if you need to make any movement or any additional stretches to your lower back. And then just come into non-action, just being witness. These spaces of integration are really important. They're where everything happens for you. So make sure that you give yourself permission to integrate. Now we're going to go into our last movement, bringing knees to the chest, chin in, rocking up and down, balancing the energies of the body. Coming all the way forward on your next breath, we're going to be doing a modified set kriya in celibate pose. So again, give yourself permission to be where you are. Celibate pose, ideally you're sitting
between your heels, not on the heels, but between the heels. And you really want to be rooted, right? So if you kind of end up like this is not going to be a good place for you. So you can go ahead and just roll a pillow or bring a blanket, and then just put it in between and just sit on that. That'll give you a little bit of lift. It'll give you a little bit of more comfort with the knees. Make sure that if your knees are compromised, you might need to adjust. You can go ahead and just do standard rock pose if that's going to work for you, sitting on the heels, or you can just honestly, stay in easy pose. Whatever works best for you, just take care of you. This is really important. The most important ingredient of yoga is to honor yourself. And you won't cheat yourself, I promise, because it's the attitude you bring into your practice that makes it all work. So, sitting nice and tall, rooted. We're going to be doing Kriya for 3 minutes. So, Shamudra, interlacing fingers. Index finger comes up. The other fingers are interlaced, and my thumbs are locked behind. What we're going to do is we're going to keep the chin in. We're going to extend the arms down, up, and drop the shoulders down. What I want to do is do it as a side view just to make sure. So again, what can be common is that you drop back in your lower back. If you're doing that, this is not going to be a good posture for you, so shift out of it, sitting on your heels or out in easy pose. And you want to really rise. Draw the shoulders down so that you can lengthen up by pressing down through through the sit bones. Your chin is at a right angle rather than lifted, rather than crunched. There's all these postures that I see. So you really want to be lengthened and pressing down to lengthen up. So there's always this extension happening in all of our poses. On Sat, you're drawing the navel in and up. On Nam, you're relaxing it. So it's a very powerful projection through the navel. And we're going to be doing this for 3 minutes. So enjoy. Close the eyes. Focus inward. Sat, Nam. 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 Make sure that you're really just moving the navel. You don't want to be like pulling in and yanking. Really just, it's a very concentrated movement. Keep going. Sat, Nam. 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 Sat. Nam. Sat. Nam. Keep the elbows straight. Do the best that you can to stretch up. We're almost there. Sat. Nam. 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 Now inhale deep. Suspend the breath. Stay in the posture. Exhale completely. Push all the air out. Squeeze the root lock, drawing sex organs, rectum, navel, drawing that whole lower triangle. Feel the spine straight, the energy moving up, filling the body with prana. Relax as you naturally inhale. Exhale completely, pushing all the air out again, drawing that lower triangle in root lock, Moban, moving up the spine, this time really feeling the entire spine, moving the energy up through the top of the head, through the fingers, out into and around you. Relax as you naturally inhale. And exhale as you very slowly bring the arms down, smoothing the aura, relaxing the arms as you settle, and just being witness to that experience. Just noticing how the body receives it. And now celebrating you for the great work you've done. Just slowly coming out of the posture as you shake the legs out. Windshield wipers. And then coming onto your backs for a nice, well-deserved relaxation. We're going to be here for 5 minutes. So give yourself permission to really support yourself. And let yourself go, because this is where everything happens on your behalf. So make sure not to cheat yourself out of the relaxation. This is the most important part of it. So remember, give yourself the time to allow the body to now work on your behalf as you get as comfortable as possible to let go, relax, and receive. Inviting you now to just let go. Really feeling and sensing your body on the mat. Feeling yourself bringing the breath all the way into the earth. And bringing your attention to the toes, the feet, the ankles as you relax and release. You might need to wiggle them. You might want to tighten them and tense them and relax them. Whichever way you do it, just give yourself permission to let go. Bringing your attention now to the shins, into the knees, hamstrings, and thighs. Allowing them to relax, release, let go. Moving your attention to the hips and pelvic area. Maybe even making a little bit of movement, squeezing, letting go. Relaxing and feeling the weightedness of your lower body. Letting go, surrendering. Shifting your awareness to the torso, to the lower back, the upper back, as you feel the spine open, releasing the tension and tightness, letting go of any and all holding patterns. Feeling the navel point relaxing, feeling the chest opening, the lungs receiving the breath more deeply, letting go. Inviting you now to move your attention and awareness to the shoulders. Maybe there's a movement that they need to make to let go. Inviting the shoulders to relax as you let go of any and all tension and holding patterns from the arms, the hands, the fingers, the entire arm structure, letting go, relaxing and releasing. Inviting your awareness now to the neck, into the cranial structure, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the lips, the jaw. Inviting any and all tension to let go as you surrender every part of you to the breath, to the spaciousness, to the infinite that is you. Letting go, relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Please take a nice deep breath in, suspending the breath as you gently draw your attention back into the body with your eyes still closed. Wiggling fingers and toes, rotating wrists and ankles in one direction and then in the other. Taking a nice deep breath, stretch, arms over the head, move, reach, big exhale. Eyes are still closed as we bring feet, rubbing soles of the feet together,
up in the air, rubbing palms over the heart, briskly, vigorously bringing yourself fully into your body. We're going to bring the feet to the earth, palm the eyes as you bring the eyes over the palms, opening eyes inside of the palms, preparing the eyes for the light as we slowly, focusing at the point where the two palms meet, release the palms, extend the arms and legs for a cat stretch, bring the right knee in, over to the left, breathe long and deep. Reversing on your next breath, left knee in over to the right, breathe long and deep. Bringing both knees in, stretch it out, rocking side to side. Finally, chin in as you rock up and down, balancing the energies of the body one last time. Coming all the way forward on your next breath as we come to center to close. So coming into presence with you. Just taking a moment of gratitude for the experience. Gratitude for your willingness to make space for yourself. We rub palms together as we center back into the heart. Take a nice breath in. Exhale. And let's end with a long Satnam. Inhale. Satnam. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Satnam. Just bowing to yourself, to the experience. Just giving yourself to the experience. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy this Kriya. Use it every day, and it will make a huge difference. At least that's what's happened for me. Satnam.